Boys playing in the forest.
Come on, Shubala, Shridama, Madhu, Stoka. Catch me if you can.
Krishna starts running. The boys pursue, each shouting.
No, I will touch Krishna first.
No, I will be the first to touch Krishna.
Balram stands watching the fun, smiling.
Hey friends, listen.
What is it, Sudama? You look pretty excited. What is up?
Krishna, there is some big festival going to happen in Vrindavan. There is lots of hustle and bustle at your house. And your father, Nanda Maharaj, is personally directing things.
Wow, that means there's going to be a big feast today.
What is the festival, Dauji?
Let us go and find out.
The boys then run out, led by Krishna and Balram. Nanda Bhavan Palace. Lot of people carrying different things around. Someone is carrying a gunny bag on his back. Someone is carrying a basket full of fruits. Someone is carrying a plate full of samosas. At the center of the courtyard, there is a big heaven kunda.
Sukanta, hurry up with the arrangements. We're running out of time.
We are almost done, Nanda Maharaj. Just few more minutes and we should be ready.
Sunanda, where are the Brahmana priests? Have they not come? The auspicious Muhurta will pass away.
They should be here any moment. Don't worry. We won't miss the Muhurta.
Good. Yashoda, are all the kachoris, samosas, puris, rasgullas, jamuns all ready?
Almost done. I'm sending them one by one.
Krishna and friends enter the scene. They look at each other in surprise at all the arrangements. Krishna walks up to Nanda Maharaj and pulls his dress to catch his attention.
Oh, Krishna, you are back? You too, Balram.
My dear father, what is this arrangement going on for a great sacrifice?
Quick, Sunanda, you are still not ready with the priests.
Father, what is the result of such a sacrifice? And for whom is it meant? How is it performed? Will you kindly let me know in detail? I'm very eager to know this procedure.
Oh, my dear child, this is not for you. You go and play with your friends. Let us do our work.
My dear father, for those who are liberal and saintly, there is no secrecy. They do not think anyone to be a friend, an enemy, or a neutral party because they are always open to everyone. And even for those who are not so liberal, nothing should be kept secret from the family members and friends, although secrecy may be maintained for persons who are inimical. Therefore, you cannot keep any secrets from me, Father.
Oh, Krishna, we are organizing a yajna, a fire sacrifice. You are just a child yet. You won't understand what a yajna or a fire sacrifice is.
Dear Father, all persons are engaged in fruitive activities. Some know what these activities are and they know the result, and some execute the activities without knowing the purpose or the result. A person who acts with full knowledge gets the full result, and one who acts without knowledge does not get such a perfect result. Therefore, please let me know the purpose of the sacrifice you're going to perform. Is it according to Vedic injunction or is it simply a popular ceremony? Kindly let me know in detail, Father.
My dear boy, this ceremonial performance is more or less traditional because rainfall is due to the mercy of King Indra and the clouds are his representatives. And because water is so important for our living, we must show some gratitude to the controller of this rainfall, Maharaj Indra.
Why Indra specifically, Father?
We are arranging to pacify King Indra because he has very kindly sent us clouds to pour down a sufficient quantity of rain for successful agricultural activities. Water is very important. Without rainfall, we cannot farm or produce grains, and without grains, we cannot live. Therefore, rain is necessary for successful religious ceremonies, economic development, and ultimately liberation. So we should not give this traditional ceremonial function. If one gives it up, being influenced by lust, greed, or fear, then it does not look very good for him.
My dear father and all residents of Vrindavan, there is no need to worship the Devatas for any material advancement. All results derived from worshipping the Devatas are simply temporary, and only those who are less intelligent are interested in temporary results.
But Krishna, although it may be true that the results are temporary, still, after all, Indra and the other Devatas do give us some result. So we must worship them to show our gratitude to them. If we don't worship them, then we won't get even that temporary result.
Whatever temporary result one derives from worshipping the demigods is actually granted by the permission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever benefit is supposed to be derived from the demigods is actually bestowed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without the permission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot bestow any benefit upon others.
Yes, Krishna, the results are originally given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. But still, unless we worship the Devata, Narayana will not bestow the result to us. If we don't worship Indra, then even Narayana cannot give us rain.
My dear uncle and father, I don't think you need to worship any Devata for the successful performance of your agricultural activities. Every living being is born according to his past karma and lives his life simply taking the result of his present karma. Everyone is born in different types of species of life according to his past activities, and he gets his next birth according to the activities of this life. Different grades of material happiness and distress, comforts and disadvantages of life are different results of different kinds of activities from either the past or present life.
Without satisfying the predominating Devata, one cannot derive any good result simply by material activities. This is actually the fact. For example, it is sometimes found that in spite of first-class medical help and treatment by the first-class physician, a deceased person dies. It is concluded, therefore, that first-class medical treatment or the attempts of the first-class physician are not in themselves the cause for curing a patient. There must be the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, a father's and mother's taking care of the children is not the cause for the children's comfort. Sometimes it is found that in spite of all care by the parents, the children go bad or succumb to death. Therefore, material causes are not sufficient for results. There must be the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Exactly. I agree with you, Sananda. In order to get good results for agricultural activities, we must satisfy Indra, the superintending deity of the rain supply. Simply doing our duty alone is not enough.
Oh, Father, the Devatas like Indra give results only to persons who have executed their prescribed duties. The Devatas cannot give any good results to the person who has not executed the prescribed duties. Therefore, Devatas are dependent on the execution of duties. They are not absolute in awarding good results to anyone. So, why should we care about them?
Well, Krishna, What you are saying seems to make sense.
Yes, Father, there is no need to worship the Devata Indra. Everyone has to achieve the result of his own work. We can actually see that one becomes busy according to the natural tendency of his work, and according to that natural tendency, all living entities, whether human beings or devatas, achieve their respective results. All living entities achieve higher or lower bodies, create enemies, friends, or neutral parties only because of the different kinds of work. One should be very careful to discharge the duties according to his natural instinct and not divert attention to the worship of various devatas.
But Krishna, will the Devatas not be angry if we don't worship them?
The devatas will be satisfied by proper execution of all duties, so there is no need to worship them. Let us rather perform our prescribed duties very nicely. Actually, one cannot be happy without executing his proper prescribed duty. One who does not, therefore, properly discharge his prescribed duties is compared to an unchaste wife.
So, what should be our prescribed duty according to you, Krishna?
The proper prescribed duty of the Brahmanas is the study of Vedas. The proper duty of the royal order Kshatriyas is engagement in protecting the citizens. The proper duty of the Vaishya community is agriculture, trade, and protection of the cows. The proper duty of the Shudras is service to the higher classes, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. We belong to the Vaishya community, and our proper duty is to farm, to trade with agriculture produce, and to protect our cows or take to banking.
Then what is the role of the Devatas? Doesn't Indra play any role in giving us rain, my dear son?
This cosmic manifestation is going on under the influence of three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. These three modes are the causes of creation, maintenance, and destruction. The cloud is caused by the action of the mode of passion. Therefore, it is the mode of passion which causes the rainfall. And after the rainfall, the living entities derive the result, success in agricultural work. What then has Indra to do with this affair, Father?
But how? How do we displease Indra?
Even if you do not please Indra, what can he do? We do not derive any special benefit from Indra. Even if he is there, he pours water on the ocean also, where there is no need of water. So, he is pouring water on the ocean or on the land. It does not depend on us worshipping him. As far as we are concerned, we do not need anyone to go to another city or village or foreign country. There are palatial buildings in the cities, but we are satisfied in the forest of Vrindavana. Our specific relationship is with the Govardhan Hill and Vrindavana forest and nothing more. Therefore, I request you, my dear father, to begin a sacrifice which will satisfy the local Brahmanas and our Govardhan Hill, and let us have nothing to do with Indra.
My dear boy, since you are asking, I shall arrange for a separate sacrifice for the local Brahmanas and Govardhana Hill. But for the present, let me execute this sacrifice known as Indra Yagna.
Oh, Father, don't delay. The sacrifice you propose for Govardhana and the local Brahmanas will take so much time. Better take the arrangements and paraphernalia you have already made for the Indra Yagna and immediately engage them to satisfy the Govardhan Hill and the local Brahmanas.
Alright, Krishna, alright. Let us stop the Indra Yagna then, and let us instead arrange for worshipping Govardhana.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What did we just see? The Brajvasis have stopped sacrifices to Indra. The king of Devatas, revolutionary indeed.
But in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Sayajna praja shristva purovacha prajapate anena prashavrishadvan esho voshtvishta kamaduk. That is, in the beginning of the creation, Lord Brahma created the human beings, the Devatas, along with the fire sacrifices or the rituals. Human beings are meant to satisfy the Devatas, and in return of which the Devatas will provide them with all the necessities like the sunshine, the rain, and the crops.
Not only that, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ter dattana pradayebhyo yo bhumtestena evasaha. One who enjoys nature bounties without performing sacrifices to Devatas is a thief only. Those are strong words indeed.
So, does that mean that the Brajvasis have committed a sin? Are they to be condemned for their actions? Have they taken the path of adharma?
No. In fact, they have followed the higher path of dharma than the Vedic injunction to perform sacrifices to Devatas.
And do you all want to know what is that?
Krishna's ultimate instruction is Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. One must give up everything else and surrender unto him alone.
So, how does stopping of the Indra's yagna constitute surrender to Lord Krishna?
The stopping of yajna by the Brajvasis displays the principle of pratikulasya varjanam. That means one must reject everything that is unfavorable for devotional service. By doing this, Brajvasis displayed the same principle.
So, if all of you also want to follow the ultimate instructions of Lord Krishna given in the book Bhagavad Gita, that is to surrender unto him, then you must give up worship of all other Devatas.
Well, if all the devotees give up worship to Devatas, won't Devatas will get angry at them?
That is exactly what happened with the Brajvasis. Indra got angry with them. But that is for later. Now let's see what happened after the Brajvasis stopped Indra Yagna.
Bolo Giriraj Govardhan ki! Bolo Giriraj Govardhan ki! Bolo Giriraj Govardhan ki!
Near the foothill of Govardhan, all the cowherd men and women are running around, bringing all the various foodstuffs, fruits, etc. from the earlier, while Krishna, Balram and the boys are watching.
Krishna, this is the first time we are worshipping Govardhan. How should we do it? None of us know. You only should tell us.
Prepare very nice foods of all descriptions from the grains and ghee collected for the yagna. Prepare rice, dal, halwa, pakora, puree and all kinds of milk preparations such as sweet rice, rabri, sweet balls, sandesh, rasagulla and laddus.
Should we call the Brahmana priests too?
Yes, invite the learned Brahmanas who can chant the Vedic hymns and offer oblations to the fire. The Brahmanas should be given all kinds of grain in charity. Then, decorate all the cows and feed them very well. After performing this, give money in charity to the Brahmanas.
What about others like the animals and the workers?
As far as the lower animals are concerned, such as the dogs and the lower grades of people, such as the chandalas or the fifth class of men who are considered untouchable, they may also be given some Shivas Prasadam. After nice grasses have been given to the cows, the sacrifice known as Govardhan Puja may immediately begin. This sacrifice will very much satisfy me.
According to the instruction of Lord Krishna, Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men called in learned Brahmanas and began to worship Govardhan Hill by chanting Vedic hymns and offering prasadam. The inhabitants of Vrindavana assembled together, decorated their cows and gave them grass. Keeping the cows in front, they began to circumambulate the Govardhan Hill. The gopis dressed themselves very luxuriantly and sat in bull-driven carts, chanting the glories of Krishna's pastimes. The brahmanas assembled there to act as priests for the Govardhan Puja, offered their blessings to the cowherd men and their wives and the gopis.
Suddenly, as the Vrajvasis are doing the circumambulation, they see a large face of Govardhan. This Govardhan eats all the food offered there. Immediately, Krishna himself, along with the other inhabitants of Vrindavan, offer obeisances to the deity as well as Govardhan Hill.
Just see how Govardhan Hill has assumed this huge form and is favoring us by accepting all the offerings. One who neglects the worship of Govardhan Puja, as I am personally conducting it, will not be happy. There are many snakes on the Govardhan Hill, and persons neglecting the prescribed duty of the Govardhan Puja will be bitten by these snakes and killed. In order to assure the good fortune of the cows and themselves, all people of Vrindavan near Govardhan must worship the hill as prescribed by me.
Jai Govardhan! Jai Giriraj Govardhan! Jai Govardhan!
Now, the Govardhan Puja has been completed auspiciously. Let us all return to our homes.
Then all the inhabitants of Vrindavana returned to their respective homes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bolo Giriraj Govardhan ki.
Jai. Govardhan Puja Mahotsav ki.
Jai.
What a unique festival introduced by Lord Krishna himself, offering a great feast to Govardhan Hill.
Yes, Prabhu. Krishna personally started the celebration and he himself manifested as Govardhan and ate all the foodstuff.
Yes, it appears that the Brajvasis had a great feast, just like normal people throwing some great party.
Externally it looks so, but internally hidden is the fact that is the complete surrender of Brajavasis to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes.
Prabhu, can you guess how is that Supreme Personality of Godhead was surrendered by these Brajavasis simply by offering foodstuff to Govardhan?
Yes, let me explain. This is one of the most important principles of surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpa.
Harivo!
It means offering everything which is acceptable to Lord Krishna in the Krishna consciousness.
Exactly. Nanda Maharaj and Brajavasi saw that Krishna was pleased simply by offering foodstuff to Govardhan.
Yes.
And that was the only motivation for all of them to facilitate this Govardhan celebration.
See, this was not a tradition of the Brajvasis.
Yes.
They were not following anything like this, but they followed everything to the T as explained by Lord Krishna. They followed everything to please Lord Krishna. They did not consider it to be adharma or dharma. They did not think whether it was right or wrong.
Yes.
They just followed everything that Krishna instructed to please him.
Yes. Hence, what Brajavasis executed what is the greatest dharma, which is pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. They simply accepted whatever is favorable.
Correct. So all of us should learn from the Brajvasis to follow and accept everything in favor of our devotional service to Lord Krishna, irrespective of our tradition, nationality, religion, etc.
Yes, bro. Bolo Giriraj Govardhan ki.
Jai.
Govardhan Mahotsav ki.
Hold on.
Yes, bro. Still.
What happens now? What about Indra and his companions? Are they pleased with all this happening?
No, Prabhu. They are not devotees like this to enjoy and get pleased with this festival.
I thought so.
In fact, Indra was very much furious.
Really?
Which is what we are going to see now.
Let's
Let us
go.
move to Swargaloka and see what is happening there. Ourselves personally.
Okay. Let's go.
Hare Krishna.
Assembly of all devatas in Indra's court.
are the sacrifices going on earth? Are all the humans grateful for the rain we have been blessing them with?
Yes, Lord Indra, everywhere on earth, people are performing your sacrifice. Everywhere on earth, we can hear the human beings shouting in joy.
Jai Indra! Jai Indra!
Except what? Please don't hesitate. Tell me.
Except in Vrindavan,
what happened there?
The Brajvasis have stopped your sacrifice.
What? Have they stopped all the sacrifices?
No, they have stopped only your sacrifice, and instead they have started worshipping Govardhan Hill.
But who did this?
There is a cowherd boy by name Krishna. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj, the king of Brajvasis. It is under his misguidance that the Brajvasis have done this misdeed.
Just see the impotence of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. They are simply the inhabitants of the forest, but being infatuated with their friend Krishna, who is nothing but an ordinary human being. They have dared to defy the Devatas. Samvartaka, where are you?
Here I am, Indra Deva, at your command.
By defying the authority of the Devatas, the inhabitants of Vrindavan will suffer in material existence. Having neglected the sacrifice of the Devatas, they cannot cross over the impediments of the ocean of material existence. These coward men in Vrindavan have neglected my authority on the advice of this talkative boy who is known as Krishna. He is nothing but a child, and by believing this child, they have enraged me, Samvartaka.
Yes, my lord.
Go and destroy the prosperity of Vrindavan. The men of Vrindavan have become too puffed up over the material opulences and are overconfident due to the presence of their tiny friend Krishna. He is simply talkative, childish, and unaware of the cosmic situation, although he is thinking himself very advanced in knowledge. Because they have taken Krishna so seriously, they must be punished. They should be destroyed with their cows. Go to Vrindavan and inundate the place.
But, my lord, such devastation is ordained only at the time of dissolution of the universe. Is it not improper for us?
Don't be afraid. You go ahead. I will also go with you, riding on my elephant, accompanied by great storms. I shall apply all my strength to punish the inhabitants of Vrindavan.
Sodga Adipati, Indra Dev! Jai Indra! Jai Indra! Jai Indra!
Nanda's courtyard. Dangerous clouds appear above Vrindavana and there is thunder and lightning. All the Vrajavasis are assembled in the courtyard. The people are holding their clothes, baskets above their heads, trying to protect the children. There is constant lightning and thunder, blowing of severe wind and incessant falling of rain. Cows are moving. Cats and dogs are running helter-skelter. Everyone is trembling from the severe cold.
This is a scary Krishna.
Look at the dangerous clouds.
Oh Krishna, please protect us, please.
Oh Nanda, we are in a dangerous position. We are bewildered and don't know what to do.
Dear Krishna, you are all powerful. and you are very affectionate to your devotees. Now please protect us who have been much harassed by the angry Indra.
This Devata, who thinks himself supreme, has shown his great power, but I shall answer him according to my position. I shall teach him that he is not autonomous in managing the universal affairs. I am the supreme Lord over all, and I shall thus take away his false prestige which has risen from his power. The Devatas are my devotees, and therefore it is not possible for them to forget my supremacy. But somehow or other, Indra has become puffed up with material power and thus is now maddened. I shall act in such a way as to relieve him of his false prestige. I shall give protection to all of you who are my pure devotees in Vrindavan, who are at present completely dependent on my mercy, and whom I have taken completely under my protection. I will save you by my mystic power.
Hare Krishna. Oh, my goodness! That was some retaliation from Indra. He has unleashed the real terror upon Sri Vrindavan Dham. What will happen to them, Prabhu?
Nothing to worry, Prabhu. Krishna has assured his protection upon the Brajvasis.
So, Brajavasis, by surrendering unto Krishna, only managed to anger Indra. They were too weak to handle Indra and his power. Indra could destroy the humans with flick of his eyebrow.
But in spite of Indra's incredible power, he could not shake the surrenderance of the Brajvasis.
How do you say that, Prabhu? What was their surrender in inviting a fury of Indra?
Despite the devastation wreaked by Indra, the Brajvasis did not try to pacify Indra, nor did they surrender unto him or any other Devata.
Instead, they approached their Krishna and sought his protection. Although Krishna was mere a child in human point of view,
the Brajvasis were unshakable in their conviction that Krishna is their only protector.
Which is another principle of surrender called Rakshishati Vishvaso, which means one must be firmly convinced that Krishna alone is my protector.
Rain was pouring down in torrents. Hurricanes were blowing their houses away. Rain was filling everywhere and the lightning was burning down everything. Anyone facing such a situation will think that he is going to die.
But Brajavasis, despite this hopeless situation, they were firmly convinced that Krishna could protect them. This is called Rakshashiti Vishvaso.
So now, what heroic superhuman act did Krishna perform in order to save the Brajvasis from Indra's furious assault? Come, let's watch this breathtaking spectacle unfold.
Haribol!
Krishna picks up Govardhan Hill with one hand exactly as a child picks up a mushroom from the ground.
My dear brothers, my dear father, my dear inhabitants of Vrindavan, you can now safely enter under the umbrella of Govardhan Hill, which I have just lifted. Do not be afraid of the hill and think that it will fall from my hand. You have been too much afflicted from the heavy rain, strong wind. Therefore, I have lifted this hill, which will protect you exactly like a huge umbrella. I think this is a proper arrangement to relieve of your immediate distress. Be happy along with your animals underneath this great umbrella.
Being assured by Lord Krishna, all the inhabitants of Vrindavana entered beneath the great hill along with their property and animals, and they all appeared to be safe. The inhabitants of Vrindavana and their animals remained there for 1 week, singing and dancing without a stop.
श्री गोवर्धन महाराज महाराज तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो। श्री गोवर्धन महाराज महाराज तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो। 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 श्री गोवर्धन महाराज महाराज तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो। श्री गोवर्धन महाराज महाराज तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो। तो पे पान चढ़े तो पे फूल चढ़े। 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 तो पे चढ़े दूध की धार ओ धार तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो। श्री गोवर्धन महाराज महाराज तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो। तेरी 7 कोस की परिक्रमा। 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 और चकलेश्वर विश्राम विश्राम तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो। श्री गोवर्धन महाराज महाराज तेरे माथे मुकुट विराज रहो।
After 7 days,
Nanda, how astonishing this is! We have spent 7 days under Govardhan without food or water.
Yes, but none of us is disturbed by hunger, thirst, or any other discomforts, even a little.
That is astonishing in itself. But even more astounding is to see how Krishna is holding up the mountain with his little finger of his left hand. After all, he is just a small boy.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What a great relief. Indra's attack on Sri Vrindavan Dham was completely nullified by Krishna.
And that too, so easily too. I mean, Krishna had to just lift his little finger and all of Indra's power was useless against Krishna's little finger.
But that is not really a wonderful thing. Krishna is floating so many planets like the earth, the sun, the moon, etc. in space. So what is the big thing for him to lift a small mountain for Krishna?
Yes, Krishna is creating innumerable amount of universes with millions and billions of Indras. So Krishna himself is the source of all Indras. So the power of one Indra is really no match for Krishna. So that is also not very surprising.
Yes. Can anyone tell how many days that Krishna held the Govardhan up? Yes, it's 7 days. It's not just 1 day or 2 days, just we think. It's for 7 continuous days and nights that Krishna held the Govardhan up. And during that time, none of the Brajavasis could cook anything for them. Everything had got flooded. Remember?
Yes, recently we also faced a similar situation in December where Chennai was flooded. But we at least were safe in our homes. The Brajavasis had to leave behind all their belongings and houses. So they did not even have any cots or mattresses to sleep on.
Nor did they have any water to drink. I personally remember how much I struggled when I was fasting without water for the whole day on Nirjala Ekadashi. Some of you also would have experienced or realized the importance of water on that day. But look at these Brajavasis, they had to be without food or water for 7 days and nights. When a place gets flooded, there is water everywhere. But that water is not fit for drinking. If someone happens to drink that water, he will immediately fall sick.
But the Brajavasis did not feel thirst or hunger or lack of sleep for 7 continuous days.
Instead, they were simply singing the glories of Krishna and dancing in great joy.
This shows their total surrenderance to Krishna and to Krishna only.
Yes, this shows one more principle of surrender to Krishna, which is called Goptritve Varanam. To depend only on Krishna for one's maintenance is one more principle of surrender.
We usually work for our maintenance. We look for a job, we stock up our food, etc.
But look at these Brajavasis, they had practically nothing with them. No food, no water, no home, no bed, nothing. They simply dependent on Krishna to maintain them, just like Krishna protected them.
By their examples, the Brajavasis have shown us that one only needs to depend on Krishna for their maintenance and well-being. What a wonderful lesson this Govardhan Puja festival has taught us.
So, what happened next? What did Indra do when his power was confounded? Come, let us watch this interesting part of the amazing event of Govardhan Puja.
Bolo Govardhan Puja Mahotsav ki Jai.
Indra's court.
Samarthaka, this is bewildering. How can all my power be baffled by a simple cowherd boy? He is holding up the Govardhan Hill as a big umbrella, and the Brajvasis are not affected even a bit by all the thundering rain I have been pouring on Vrindavan for 7 continuous days.
Yes, my lord. Not only that, the Brajavasis have not had anything to eat or drink for the last 7 days. But look at all of them. They are all happily dancing and singing as if they just had a big feast. Not just the humans, even the cows and other animals are also completely enjoying themselves. Looks like we have achieved the opposite of that.
Samvartaka immediately asked all the clouds to stop and come back.
Yes, my lord.
Under Govardhan.
My dear cowherdmen, now the rains have stopped and the sun is shining brightly. All the water has dried up. You can leave and take your wives, children, cows and valuables because everything is ended. The inundation has gone down along with the swelling waters of the river.
All the men loaded their valuables on carts and slowly left with their cows and other paraphernalia. After they had cleared out everything, Lord Krishna very slowly replaced Govardhan Hill in exactly the same position it had been before. When everything was done, all the inhabitants of Vrindavana approached Krishna with feelings of love and embraced him with great ecstasy. The gopis, being naturally very affectionate to Krishna, began to offer him yogurt mixed with their tears, and they poured incessant blessings upon him. Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, Nanda and Balram, who is the strongest of the strong, embraced Krishna one after another, and from spontaneous feelings of affection blessed him over and over again. In the heavens, different demigods from different planetary systems such as Siddhaloka, Gandharvaloka and Chandraloka also began to show their complete satisfaction. They poured showers of flowers on the surface of the earth and sounded different conch shells. There was beating of drums and being inspired by godly feelings. Residents of Gandharvaloka began to play on their tamburas to please the Lord. After this incident, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, surrounded by his dear friends and animals, returned to his home. As usual, the gopis began to chant the glorious pastimes of Lord Krishna with great feeling, for they were chanting them from the heart.
How sweet are the exchanges of love between the Brajvasis and Krishna.
Normally, when we are attacked by someone, the moment we are safe from the attack, we will be filled with the anger and feeling of revenge.
But the Brajvasis did not think even for a moment about Indra or his persecutions.
They were simply drowned in the love of Krishna, thinking that how their most lovable coward boy had protected them from the great calamity.
The Brajvasis did not nurture any ill will towards Indra for his unjustified actions. In fact, they did not even think of Indra for a moment. They were always thinking about Krishna.
And you see how after Krishna placed the Govardhan back, everyone offered the Krishna whatever the precious thing he or she had.
Yes, everything that the Brajvasis had was offered to Krishna. Their homes, their cows, their butter, their wealth, even their lives were dedicated to Krishna.
This is another principle of surrender called Atmanikshepana, which means offering everything to Krishna. Everything that Vrajavasis possessed are dedicated to Krishna. They could not think offering their everything anybody else other than Krishna.
So, we should also learn how to offer our everything to Krishna. Our homes, our family, our wealth, our lives, everything should be dedicated to Krishna. In fact, this is one of the principles of surrender.
And by such surrender, we become happier and more blissful. Not even Indra can cause any harm to such surrendered devotees. Just like Govardhan protected the Brajavasis because of their surrendering their everything to Krishna.
So we all saw how the Brajvasis' happiness only increased after the Govardhan pastime. But what happened to Indra? How did Indra receive the mercy of Govardhan? Come, let's see what happened to Indra.
Bolo Giriraj Govardhan ki
Jai.
Krishna is standing alone near Govardhan Hill. Indra approaches him all alone. Indra removes his crown and kneels down. He keeps his crown at Krishna's feet and bows his head to the ground. Then kneeling, he prays to Krishna.
Oh Indra, it is you.
My dear Lord, being puffed up by my false prestige, I thought you have offended me by not allowing the cowherd men to perform the Indra Yagya, and I thought you wanted to enjoy the offerings that were arranged for the sacrifice. I thought that in the name of Govardhan's sacrifice, you were taking my share of profit, and therefore I mistook your position. Now, by your grace, I can understand that you are the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, and that you are transcendental to all material qualities. My dear Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because you are the Supreme Person and the Supreme Soul. Please, please accept my prostrated obeisances.
Get up, Indra. Get up.
Due to my gross ignorance, I created a great disturbance in Vrindavan by sending torrents of rain and heavy hailstorm. I acted out of severe anger caused by your stopping the sacrifice which was held to satisfy me. But, my dear Lord, you are so kind to me that you have bestowed your mercy upon me by destroying all my false pride. I therefore take shelter of your lotus feet.
My dear Indra, I stopped your sacrifice just to show you my causeless mercy and to remind you that I am your eternal master. I am the master not only of you but of all the other demigods as well. You should always remember that all your material opulences are due to my mercy. No living entity can independently become opulent. One must be favored by my mercy. Everyone should always remember that I am the Supreme Lord. I can show anyone my favor and I can chastise anyone because no one is superior to me.
Yes, my Lord, I understand my mistake.
Go in peace, Indra, the heavenly planets, and continue ruling. But be always careful to avoid pride and be subordinate to my instructions.
Yes, Krishna, my Lord.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Giriraj Govardhan, Jai Giriraj Govardhan.
बोलो गिरिराज गोवर्धन की, Govardhan Mahotsav ki Jai.
So finally, all is well that ends well. Indra received the mercy of Govardhan and finally surrendered to Krishna.
Surrender?
Yes.
But Krishna, he just accepted his defeat with Krishna, Indra.
Yeah, yes.
How does it constitute to surrender, Prabhu? Indra does not reject anything favorable for Krishna's service.
Okay.
He does not accept whatever is favorable for Krishna's service.
True.
Neither he taken shelter of Krishna for his protection, nor he put himself under the shelter of Krishna for his maintenance.
Okay.
He has not surrendered his position to Krishna's lotus feet. Then when and where Indra surrendered?
That is because of one of the most important principles of surrender, Karpanya, that is called humility.
Hari Bol.
Indra, in all his humility, accepted defeat at the hands of Krishna. He realized that he was foolish in trying to challenge the powers of Lord Krishna. Ultimately, because of the mercy of Brijavasi and Govardhan, he finally got the mercy of Krishna and surrendered to him.
Yes, moreover, he openly accepted that his false pride has been broken and he fell at the lotus feet of Krishna.
Yes, he did not feel any animosity or any grudge towards Krishna. In fact, that is the basic factor which shows humility of Indra towards Krishna. And hence, we should all remember this, that you have to be humility and that provides you the complete surrender.
Yes, my dear devotees, did you all enjoy this festival of Govardhan Puja?
Yes.
No, I am not able to hear, please.
Yes.
Hari Bol.
Hari
So there are
Bol.
6 principles of surrender God displayed here. Let us all list it out one by one. I request everybody to repeat after me one by one. The first, reject everything unfavorable to Krishna's service.
Reject everything unfavorable to Krishna's service.
2, accept everything favorable for Krishna's service.
Accept everything favorable to Krishna's service.
3, have firm conviction that Krishna is the only protector.
Have the conviction that Krishna is the only protector.
4, have firm conviction Krishna is the only maintainer.
Have the firm conviction that Krishna is the only maintainer.
5, surrender all our possession to the lotus feet of Krishna.
Surrender all our possessions to the lotus feet of Krishna.
And finally 6, always be humble.
Always be humble. Wonderful. Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
These are the 6 important principles of Charanagati as taught to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
Hari
and
Bol.
so beautifully displayed live by the Govardhan Sharanotsavam.
बोलो गिरिराज गोवर्धन की
जय,
गोवर्धन महोत्सव की
जय,
जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय,
श्री श्री गौरनिताय की
जय,
श्री श्री कृष्ण रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा की
जय,
श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की
जय,
गोवर्धन शरणोत्सव की
जय,
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.
Hare Krishna. So we just now witnessed a very, very scintillating and wonderful performance by the devotees of Hare Krishna movement. Before we proceed to the next program, first I would like to call upon all the participants on the stage and request all devotees to give a big hand in round of applause for all of them. First, Krishna as Krishna Premi Mataji, please come forward onto stage. Balaram as Sarika Mataji, please come forward. Sudama as Deepta Mataji. Uttra as Madhumangal. Mridula Mataji as Nanda Maharaj. Akshaya Mataji as Yashoda Mai. Bindya Mataji as Sunanda. Nayana Mataji as Sukanta. Abhinav as Stoka, Krishna's friend. Jayant as Sri Dama. Yuvi as Subala. Hanumesh as Gopa. Ananya as Gopi 1. Shravani as Gopi 2. Nilesh as first Brahmana. Namesh as the second Brahmana. Please come, please be visible onto the stage. Please come forward here. Shailaja Mataji as Indra, the king of heaven. Shanti Mataji as Samvartaka. Shanti Balaji as Devata. And the dancers who perform the dance as Ananya, Gayatri, Arani, Adira and Sarika. Please come forward. And last but not the least, the backstage who made all this happen. Rakshana, Subhadra, Prabha, Priya, Sundari, Divya, Sankalp, Sridevi, Ramya Rupa Mataji, Sudha, Nandini, Janvi, Raji, Saumya and Raghavan. Please come all of you onto this. Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki, Govardhan Puja Maha Mahotsav ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. One big round of applause for all of them. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. Before we move on to the next program, we would like to give away the Bahumana Prasadam for today's festival sponsors. I request the sponsors to come forward onto the stage. First, Sendil Kumar, please come forward. Sendil Kumar, please come. I request His Grace Suvyakta Narasimha Prabhu, Temple President, Hare Krishna Movement Chennai, to give away the Bahumana Prasadam to today's sponsor. Sendil Kumar, please come forward. Please give a big round of applause. Balaji Jayaraman. Balaji is here. Balaji Jayaraman. Sudhakar Reddy. Sudhakar Reddy is here. Please come forward. Sudhakar Reddy. Our special guest today, Dr. Sudha Seshayan. Madam, please come forward. Special guest today, Dr. Sudha Seshayan. Dr. Sudha Seshayan, in charge of principal of the Shastra College in Virugambakam, Chennai. Principal Education Affairs of Shastra College. Hare Krishna.